The economy is about to go boom. Now, I don't mean boom like Dresden. I mean boom like take off like a rocket ship. Now, not with actual people on a rocket ship going at 25,000 miles an hour. Seems kind of fishy to me. But anyway, a rocket ship nonetheless. That's going up at, we'll just say, the speed of sound. I just chuckle. All right, so let's look at this. So I'm reading an article from Zero Hedge, and I just kind of had a chuckle at this because it's very negative on the economic outlook. My man Michael Lebowitz, snap goes the economy. He's very paints a very bearish picture, and I get it, man. The macro economy has deteriorated further and faster than we anticipated, says Snap CEO. Target and Walmart are saying bad things. Yep. We got Snap goes advertising, so we're not going to have very good advertising revenue on YouTube. Just as an FYI, if you're look, you can see I bought some crabs to celebrate my daughter's graduation, and so I guess I said okay to the cookies, so you can see I'm being advertised for the crabs in here, and these were freaking fantastic. I got to move back to Maryland, dude. I love crabs. Not lobsters, crabs. Anyway, point being, price drop, yeah. All right, so here you can see the ad revenue as percentage of GDP is dropping. So if you're used to living high on the hog on YouTube ads, you're going to that's going to start to slink away as I'm seeing in my own ad revenue. All right, plunging consumer sentiment. Personal consumption accounts for approximately 2/3 of economic activity, which I talk about all the time. Accordingly, consumer sentiment, which is primarily a factor of financial state of consumers, is an important indicator to follow. The consumer sentiment survey from the University of Michigan is at its all-time lows of the last 60 years. Oh my goodness, all-time lows. Now, we want to click on this because that would indicate that the economy is getting ready to go to a doldrums. We're getting ready to go snap in a bad way. All right, but then we started thinking, wait a second. This is in 2009. March 9th, 2009 was when the stock market bottomed. All right. What happened the next 13 years or so? Boom. So the consumer sentiment was way low. And then what happened right off the gauge of the consumer sentiment being its lowest? It took off like a bat out of hell. Isn't that interesting? 1990, as we went to war in Iraq with Saddam, consumer sentiment was at a low. What happened for the next 10 years, basically? Took off like a bat out of hell. 2001, we got bombed by 19 Saudi Arabian Cessna flyers. What happened with box cutters? What happened after that? It bottomed out. Then what happened after that? It boomed, then it fell off a cliff in 2008. But again, that's not even a boom, but it sprung back. Then so again, 1990 to 1999, the consumer sentiment went through the roof. The economy went through the roof. 2001, the consumer sentiment bottomed out and then went that could be driven on a number of factors, but at the end of the day, the economy grew. It did not grow at 3%. It wasn't Reagan-esque growth, I'll tell you that, but still grew. 2009, everyone's like, oh my good, down in the dumps. Oh, we're all going to die. Obama. Oh, and then it took off. 2020, a coronavirus, oh my goodness, then took off. And now here we are. It gets even better. 1982, the mass recession we had in 1982. Again, the worst since the Great Depression. Everyone for sure knew that the economy, we were dead to rights. The commies were going to take over, as all the economists said. Business Week had their thing, the death of equities. You could get PE ratios at 8 with a dividend paying 7 to 8%, something like that, dividend yield. Then what happened from 1982 to 1990, the Reagan years? From 1974, the market bottomed out. What happened from 1974 back until next couple? So again, you see massive growth. The Carter years, right here, 1980. Consumer sentiment was bad, but from 1980 to 1990, just massive growth. From 1990 to 2000, massive growth. From 2009 to 2020, massive growth. When all the time off the bottoms when consumer sentiment was bad. Isn't that interesting? I think this is when Nixon put the wage and price controls. I think it was right around 1973. So basically what this would tell you is that if history is any guide, then when consumer sentiment has bottomed out, that's when the beginning of the rebuild bill comes back. I actually wouldn't surprise me in the least. Not in the least. But Josh, don't you realize? There's always a but. Don't you realize this? Don't you realize that? We never had a guy worse than Sniffy Joe. I don't know about that. I think certainly we had Nixon and Carter back to back, with Ford thrown in there. We never had inflation like we do now. Sure, we had. What else? We never had equities as valued so high as we do now. Sure, we had. Especially compared to the comparable bond rates. I mean, right now the 10-year Treasury is still below 3%, man, and this is after massive increases. Let's see I don't even know what the markets are doing so far this morning. Down, and the 10-year Treasury is at 2.73. I mean, that's down 50 basis points from where it was just. I mean, literally just. Let's go back to 3 months. Yeah, it's up at 3.123. So 3.167 to 2.17. So take our trusty calculator. 3.17 minus 2. What do we say? What's that now? 2.71. That's 46 basis points off where it was. I mean, that's by 3.17. That's a 15% decline in the interest rates, the yields on the 10-year Treasury in literally a couple weeks' time. That's it. That's not indicative at all of long-term inflation. Just not, man. It's just not. So what does that mean? Well, that means we probably bottomed out. Now, I don't know that. I look, my concern is always and every will be the lack of just common sense when it comes to energy politics. These guys are just stupid. But to sit there and just say it's all bottoming out, I'm so sick of the doomsdayers. I really am, man. I'm just tired of it. I'm so sick of it. The dollar is crashing. No, it's not. It's not crashing. Inflation is because of monetary spending. No, it's not. And that also means that they can't fix it. If they didn't create it, they can't fix it. Can we use some common sense here? I spilled some coffee on my t-shirt. My wife's not going to be happy with me. The food shortages are coming. No, there's going to be there's going to be some, hurting a little bit, but the idea that 330 million Americans with our individual ingenuity aren't going to be able to solve our problems of our day-to-day lives, it's just freaking stupid, man. Americans are go-getters. We fix things. We know how to solve crisis. That's why we're Americans. Stop this crap. I hate it. It's no different than the gold. Oh my goodness, the dollar's collapsing. You better buy gold now. They've been saying that hell, I got old National Reviews. They're saying the same thing back in 1995. I should go pull a couple out, actually. It's embarrassing. And then the same thing, Mitch McConnell and Paul Ryan are going to get rid of your Social Security. Harry Truman is a fascist. He's going to get rid of your not Truman, Dewey. I'm sick of it. Sick of it. Anyway, I could easily see the economy rebounding. You know why? Because the economy isn't built from a president down. It's built from you and me on up. That's why I always hate it. Reagan created this amount of jobs. Obama created this amount of jobs. No, they did not. Reagan didn't do crap. Obama didn't do crap, personally. Now, they created the mechanism for other people to do crap in some regard. I grant you. You want less restriction, less regulation. I get all that. You want easier ability to trade, 100%. You want cheaper access to energy because energy drives everything. I understand that. That's why Reagan is better than Obama. Bar none. But at the end of the day, Obama didn't do anything. Reagan didn't do anything. You and I did all this stuff, man. Stop giving credit to these idiots. Yeah. I hope I'd like to hear your thoughts. I'm sure this video won't get many clicks because it's positive, but it's always easier to sell negativity. I'm just sick of it. All right, we'll see you.